Hello and welcome to 5 Year Club video number 225. Little talk about planning today. I've mentioned planning on this channel plenty of times before, and I've even gotten specific in terms of how you should plan, in terms of how the tasks you should have should be concrete, how they should be measurable, and I think there's something called a SMART framework that you can go look up, and that will help you to make tasks that can actually get done. Anyway, that is not what this particular video is about exactly. I was reminded of this when I did some planning with a friend today, and he's much better at planning than me, or at least does it in a coordinated way with people more often than I do. And anyway, he's better at it than me. That's why I called him to help me with the planning. And I noticed something very specific, and I wanted to share that with you on this video. So this is an example, right? Is like making a vacation to-do list, planning for a vacation. So it's nice to have a to-do list, that means you're doing some level of planning. My to-do list is in fact a list, right? So when I do this stuff, I will, left to my own devices, write down number 1, rent a car, number 2, buy sunscreen, number 3, find a cat sitter, number 4, book a hotel room. And if I'm lucky, then I might even reorder them according to priority. My friend, he immediately, instead of just writing things down on the list, instead creates a structure. So his structure is a spreadsheet, and the columns in this case are category, item, owner, deadline, and status, right? So, he's actually keeping track of how many different kinds of tasks are going to be necessary in the future. I guess that'd be category. Item is the same stuff that I've listed under my list, but now we have this new column for owner, so we can actually split up things on that list to individuals and people can find what they're responsible for. We have a deadline, which is important, so that we actually know when the task is supposed to be finished by, and there's something to actually measure against. And then we have a status area, so it's a dedicated area to say whether the task is finished or to say that something went wrong. In my case, when I was writing this down, this is done. So finding a cat sitter is done, but I need to write the cat instructions. Of course, that should probably just appear as a new line item on this ever-expanding spreadsheet list of responsibility. But we'll leave my inadequacies as a discussion for another day. What did we learn here? Well, our learnings include that planning has structure. So if you're in a planning process, but you don't have an apparent structure to that planning process, much like Lewis in random list making mode, then it is very likely that there is a structure that will greatly enhance your planning process. And if you don't know what that structure is, go ask someone, go find a structure, because almost any structure is better than no structure. Your planning will be much more productive. There are some side benefits also to talking to someone else while planning. In this case, because I talked to my friend and he's going on the trip with me, I have an accountability partner for my task deadlines. I have someone to poke and prod me and say, you didn't do this thing you said you were going to do. What's up with that? And that hopefully will psychologically motivate me to get this stuff done on time. All right, well, that is it for video number 225, a reminder about learning about the structure of planning. How many different ways do you know how to plan? I think if you go to Google and you look up project plan, you'll actually find some maybe more professional stuff that real planners use for their job. And maybe that can be the beginning of memorizing a cut down version for things in your personal life. I don't know. Well, that's it. Have a fabulous evening.